Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our fourth Platinum Partner demonstration, today with Birdseye and Green Cuisine. We'll just let people join for the first minute or so. So today we'll be starting with a short interview and introduction with Gerard Purnell, Business Development Controller for Foodservice at Birdseye, who will tell you a little bit about the product range and what work Birdseye are doing with the Green Cuisine brand. And then we'll go on to a demonstration by Andy Daniels, development chef. Okay, we've got people logging in still, so it's going up. So we'll leave it another sort of 10, 20 seconds, and then we'll switch over to the live broadcast. Okay, seems to have slowed down a bit now. People, I'm sure, will join as we go. So I'm now going to pass over to David Fode, who will be chairing the discussions today. Over to you, David.
Right, well, good afternoon. And as Andrew said, I'm David Fode, editor of Public Sector Catering magazine, and welcome to, yes, indeed, the fourth of our cooking demos that are part of our Plant-Based Week program that has been running through the whole of this week. Today, we're going to be finding out more about Platinum sponsor Green Cuisine, another relatively new name in the frozen meat replacement market, having been launched here in the UK just 2 years ago. It's the brand name for a range of plant-based products from Birdseye Foodservice. And to tell us a bit more about it, we're being joined by the Business Development Controller, Gerard Purnell. Good afternoon, Gerard.
Afternoon, David. You well?
Very well, thank you. And you?
Good. Yeah, very good, thank you.
Yeah, as I was saying, Green Cuisine, quite a sort of new name on the scene. Tell us about the brand and perhaps also a little bit about the motivation behind launching it.
Yeah, I mean, plant-based food has grown rapidly in the last few years and continues to do so. We don't think it's a fringe trend. We actually think it's going to be mainstream. It's going to continue to grow. There's a few factors that drive people towards plant-based food, not just health and being a vegan or vegetarian, but just want to replace some of their diet through the week and some of their recipes and some of their meals with plant-based food. It's a really exciting sector. There's so much NPD coming. We've got a raft that we're launching into the retail sector as well as food service as well. But as it becomes more mainstream, you'll start to see it on menus. You'll start to see it in quick service restaurants that we have recently, and you'll start to see it more in food service and even fine dining as well. So this is something that's going to be around for a while. It's not going to go away. And Birdseye are really pleased to be in the sector and doing extremely well. We're the fastest growing plant-based brand in Europe, which is tremendous performance. As you said, we've only been going for 2 years. We've seen some fantastic growth. It's a perfect fit for food service as well. We've just launched a range of products into the sector, which I'll come on to shortly. And the product's made of pea protein. It's actually not there's no soy in our products at all. So it's pea protein product, and it's made of a special pea. Obviously, Birdseye is recognised for its green peas. It's not a green pea, but it does resonate well with the Birdseye brand and being a pea protein product. It does help the brand and does help the Green Cuisine product when you're trying to market it as well. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, perhaps you can, as you suggested, that you've got a number of different products. Tell us a little bit about the range that's available, and perhaps also you can just sort of fill us in as well, Gerard, on this point about the pea protein and how that sort of fits in with people's concern about allergens as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So we've gone completely away on a clean recipe deck as well. There's no soy involved. The product delivers exceptionally well. We have 2 different products. We have meat replacements and we have vegetarian dishes as well as so yeah, it's a perfect fit, and it resonates really well with our consumers and our customers. So it's a perfect fit really for the brand.
Okay, I mean, you say it's a good fit for the customers. What sort of response have you been getting from customers? And then perhaps you can sort of mention a couple of customers to just to sort of give us some idea of the sort of people who have taken up the product already.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised by the tremendous response we've had in food service. Actually, we launched in a difficult year in food service in 2020, as you know, with lockdowns impacting not just schools and education sectors, but also pubs and restaurants as well. But through the year, my team and I have been busy talking to to customers who actually have been open and have been working and not on furlough, and we've managed to get some listings across a number of wholesalers. So the products are all available across your national wholesalers in the food service sector, which I'm pleased to say. The products are in food service packs. So we've done a bit of research with our end users and our wholesale colleagues and customers to understand what pack sizes work for them. So we're pleased that we've got a food service pack range. The products that you'll see that we've launched in 2020 was the burgers, the meatless burgers, the meatless meatballs, and the sausages, meatless sausages as well. And then in 2021, and just recently, we've launched the new chickenless range, and those are dippers, strips, southern fried strips, and nuggets as well. And I'm pleased to say that the dippers have actually are an award winner. They were awarded the Free From Consumer Product of the Year award. So really, really pleased with them. We've been able to sell a award-winning product, and it's such a good product, David. You know, you can't taste the difference between seeing a real chicken and the chickenless dipper as well, I'm pleased to say. So it's really good.
Well, that's very good news and a good accolade there. Just to clarify, Gerard, you talked about the catering packs. It's all frozen product, is it? All
frozen products, yeah. All frozen. I mean, 12 months shelf life, as I said, available through all good national wholesalers. Okay. Just to your final point, we've started some listings in some of the major pub brands as well and restaurant brands. So you'll start to see some of this product coming onto the menus very shortly, and towards the end of the year when we put some branding on the menus as well.
Okay. Now, there's been sort of news recently about a very exciting tie-up that you've got with the Olympics later this year. Perhaps you can tell us just a little bit about that too.
Absolutely. Really, really pleased to be here today, Plant-Based Week. And the announcement that I'd like to say is we've just teamed up with Team GB for the next Olympics. So we're actually their plant-based food choice. And we're going to launch quite a bit of activity across the food service sector. We're going to target schools, colleges and universities, as well as other catering outlets. And there's going to be quite a bit of noise over the next couple of months leading up to the Olympics, which starts at the end of July. And we're going to have some fun activities available for caterers and schools. And I'm looking forward to accelerating that activity across the sectors. And caterers can take part as well, and they can invite green cuisine onto their menus. We'd love to support meatless Mondays, fishless Fridays. One of the products we're just about to launch is fishless fish fingers. So it's a new product we're just about to launch in the sector as well. So great news, great brand fit with Team GB, and we just hope they bring a load of medals home for us as well.
That would be nice too, wouldn't it? Yeah. Right. Probably time now to think about the food itself and how you make it work in the kitchen. You've got a cooking demo recorded and lined up for us. Perhaps you can just tell us a little bit about what we're going to see.
Yes, love to. You're going to see Andy Daniels, our chef, green cuisine chef. He's cooking off a selection of meat-free dishes, predominantly fitting for the education sector. So you're going to see the first one is aged between 5 and 7 years. This is quite a mouthful, not just to eat, but also to announce. But it's a green cuisine meatless sausage Boston phyllo pie, and that's a target for the 5 to 7 age group. You've then got the green cuisine crispy chickenless oodles of noodles aimed at the age 8 to 12, and then at the 12 plus bracket we've got the classic icon burger. So over to Andy.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Hello, a warm welcome from Bird's Eye and the Green Cuisine team. My name is Andy Daniels and we're here to cook off some fantastic products, looking at the meatless range and also the chickenless range from the Green Cuisine portfolio. The Bird's Eye team and the Green Cuisine team are cooking some fantastic products for delivery and food service. We're here to support LASA as we move into the public sector plant-based week on May the 17th. And we also look forward to working with LASA in schools throughout the country moving forward. So what is it that's interesting about Green Cuisine? Well, we have our meatless products that are derived from a very special pea that packs full of protein. That's interesting because as a key sponsor for Team GB, it helps our elite athletes create a regeneration of muscle mass retention from all of that protein, which is good for the little athletes in your playgrounds. And for the chicken products, the proteins are derived from wheat-based items. So both deliver great flexibility, great flavor and functionality. And as we cook some great on-trend products for you now, we'll have some great fun and learn a lot about Green Cuisine along the way. Okay, so we're going to cook our first dish, which is using the meatless sausage product from Green Cuisine. As we said earlier, fantastic variety of pea that really packs a punch in terms of the amount of protein that's delivered in the product. So we're going to do a nice Boston bean sausage phyllo pie, which essentially is a really tasty bean product that's got a nice sauce, tomato-based sauce for the kids, a little bit of barbecue flavor, but nothing too spicy, and a great chopped sausage through there, crispy phyllo, served baked in the oven. Fantastic flavor. So what's in the dish? Well, we've got our diced onion, our haricot beans, white beans, so they're the baked beans, but without the sauce. So we've got a nice natural product, the kidney beans, and we're going to roast some squash. Bit of blue Peter coming on here. I've actually prepared the squash in advance and roasted it off. But you get a bit of a general idea for what we've got here is a nice dice, just under an inch dice of squash. Again, roasting it in a hot oven, 185 degrees just beforehand, just allows a little bit of that sugar to come through. And as you can see, we've got some great color on there. And then tomatoes, tomato passata, a little bit of brown, bit of barbecue sauce, touch of garlic, as I say, a very mild barbecue spice, just for a back flavor, and tomato puree. So first job, gloves on, let's crack in. So we're gonna crack on. We've got our oven preheated to 185 degrees, and we're going to be using a couple of different things here to help us along the way. We've got a crisp fry basket that allows us to get a nice even cook all the way onto the product. And then we lay out our products here. So fantastic sausage, meatless sausage from Green Cuisine. And that should be enough. What I'm trying to do with this recipe is create an approximate gastronome size. It's not really worth cooking anything that's smaller than that. It's got to be real in real terms for you guys in your kitchens. So into the oven it goes. And again, 185 degrees. So quite a nice hot oven. Helps us get color and texture on the product. And we're going to set that for about 12 minutes. Away we go. Right, now to the sauce. So we're going to sweat down our onions in olive oil, just a little olive oil. We've got approximately about 25 grams of olive oil. We're going to retain a little bit of that oil. So we're looking at multiple portions, very little oil in this recipe. So we take a touch of the oil to sweat down and begin the sauce, like so. And the rest of that oil we're going to retain just for just brushing a little bit onto that phyllo so that it crisps up when we put it back in the oven. So our onions go in the pan. And we want to just sweat these down as we go along. Our garlic goes in. Like so. Turn the heat up. So all we're really doing is just releasing some sugars in our onion. This could actually be done in the oven as well. For those of you that don't have induction or gas, you can actually fry this off in this side of the oven as well. But we're doing it here on the induction hob. Get a little bit of colour. So first thing in, our onion and garlic. And then we're going to add our spice and our tomato puree shortly. And essentially make a little tomato-based barbecue sauce. So after a few minutes of softening off our onion, we add just a touch of our spice. We need to retain a little bit of the barbecue flavour just to sprinkle onto our phyllo when we layer up the sheets later on in the session. So we're just going to release some of the flavours from those spices, and then add our tomato puree. And then we want to cook out our tomato puree. And very quickly we'll see a sauce starting to emerge. We can turn the heat down and allow the tomato passata and chopped tomatoes to cook through and bring to a little simmer. So we sweat that down. Now we'll add our chopped tomato. Just goes in like so. Quite fortunate to be using a bit of induction here, which is quite a quick way of sautéing and frying, which is quite good for me when I'm making a quick sauce. And then a bit of passata through there, approximately 1 litre of passata. We want to just bind these beans and the meatless sausages from Green Cuisine just so that they have a nice level of moisture before we make this bake. So a really tasty meatless sausage bake in the oven with some great flavour in the background from the barbecue spice. So we'll just turn that up. We want that just to simmer now for a few minutes just to combine all those flavours. We can put in actually a small amount of our barbecue sauce, which is on the recipe sheet. All of these recipes are going to be available in recipe card format, and I'm sure will be available electronically online as well. So as I said, I intend to kind of create a real term volume for you. So rather than just cooking one solitary portion, I think it's important that we do something that you do in your kitchens up and down the country in those schools, which is showing you a real kind of realistic amount of product. So this recipe should definitely generate a gastronome, which I'm sure is getting up to sort of infant-sized portions of probably 25 to 30 portions. So quite a cost-effective recipe as well. Just give it a bit of a wipe down there. We've got a lively sauce bubbling away. What we can do with that, if we need to, is just let that down with a little bit of water. Just a touch. And also, I've left a little bit of the water in the beans, in the red beans. You can see a touch. That's actually flavour. Most canned product or carton product, kidney beans, haricot beans, don't really have any salt in them now. So it's actually just a nice flavoured water, which helps with good back flavour as well. So we'll now add our kidney beans and our haricot beans. And that's one thing that kids do quite like is a bean, either in a chili. My kids love a chili, make it quite mild for them. And they obviously love their beans as well. So this is just an interesting way of getting those products into them, but also getting that fantastic Green Cuisine meatless sausage that just packs so much flavour. So as you can see, we're creating a nice sauce there. It's a good thickness. It'll allow our sausage to just sit in that sauce. Then we put the phyllo on. And then the last piece is our pre-roasted squash. Again, just give that a little bit of sweetness. but all natural, of course. There we go. So rather than leave our meatless sausages whole, what we're going to do is we're going to cut them into half, and then we'll show you what we do with the phyllo. We're going to lay the phyllo out and then basically just layer it up with a little bit of spice, scrunch it up, put it on top and bake it into a fantastic crispy golden bake through the oven. Just check on those sausages. Okay, so there we have a fantastic Green Cuisine sausage. If I just break these open and show you just the level of moisture that we have here, it's fantastic. So nice and succulent, very, very warm, but a great, nice crust, but not too deep. So really easy to work with, gives great satisfaction in them when you're eating it, but superb flavor. So all I'm going to do with these is just cut them onto an angle and just drop them in to our gastronome like so. And spread them around. I'm cutting these on a biased angle just from a presentation perspective, but you can cut them straight across. I just think they look quite pretty like this. There we go. So fantastic product. Great flavor. And then we'll take our sauce. As I say, we can take more sausage in this tray, and it's really up to you how much you want to put in regards to the portions that you require. The sausages are going to be made available in food service size outers as well. So you won't need to see these smaller packets that we're using just to show you for this session. So there we go. So that's our base to our Boston bean bake. We're now going to just top it with the phyllo, which is a very simple process. We're going to take one sheet, there we go, and another. We'll do another set over here as well. And with that little bit of olive oil that we retained, we're just going to just very lightly brush the phyllo pastry. As you can see here, I move this to one side, you get a better view. So just a very light brush. For the whole recipe, for all these multiple portions that we're using, creating, we're only using about 25 grams of oil. So quite a sympathetic oil content really for the little athletes. So bit of oil on there, pinch of our very, very mild spice goes on the top, like so. And then we just take our next layer of phyllo, and that goes on the top. And then you can see, like a window pane, that small amount of oil and the spice just shines through. And then what we're going to do is just, again, a very small amount of this oil here, just flake over, and that just allows us just to catch a little bit of heat in the oven. And then we just repeat that process, but then we just grab one and just scrunch it up like so and pop it on, and that's quite a nice rustic lid for our bake. We don't have to cover all of the pie. I think it looks nice with gaps in between. I think if we just do 2 more of those, we'll have our phyllo pastry crunchy lid on, ready to go. And then we're almost ready to put it into the oven. Again, the oven's same temperature, 185 degrees. And then finally, just a little bit more spice over the top of that phyllo pastry. And there we have it, ready to go in the oven. Our Boston bean Green Cuisine meatless sausage bake in a rather large bulk portion to give a sense of reality to you guys in the kitchens up and down the country. And in the oven it goes. Okay, it's been 12 minutes. Our Green Cuisine meatless sausage Boston bean spiced phyllo bake is now ready. Let's get it out of the oven and serve it up. There we go. So as you can see, nice and crispy and tasty. Got a nice bit of moist sauce through there with those lovely succulent Green Cuisine meatless sausages. Let's put a bit of chopped parsley on there, serve it up and give it a try. There we go. Enjoy. Meatless sausage, Green Cuisine, spicy Boston bean bake, but not that spicy for our little athletes. Thank you. Okay, for our second dish, we're going to use some chickenless dippers, which are a fantastic product. As we said in our previous recipe, the protein from these is derived from wheat, so great flexibility, great taste. We want to show you something that's a little bit accessible and a bit more modern for the young kids today. I think most people are more familiar with their children eating noodles in some of the high street offers, and indeed some of the great noodles that you can see in the supermarket. So we want to do something that's a great kind of introduction for kids to try and use a meatless product or incorporate a meatless product into their diet that has both great flavor, is very, very modern on trend, is great fun to eat, but has great texture from those chickenless dippers, amazing flavor and such a great texture from the coating. The coating is so special. So what do we got to do? Well, we're gonna crisp fry our, through the oven, Green Cuisine chickenless dipper. And then the rest of the ingredients for the dish, very, very simple. We've got some bird's eye peas, beautiful, fresh and sweet, and some finely shredded peppers. Kids really find peppers quite accessible to eat. They really take them on board and enjoy them. So we've got yellow, orange and red. So great color against the green pea from bird's eye. And we're going to use a medium egg thread noodle. And just for a bit of chef's poetic license, probably not something that you're going to be incorporating, but we'll just top it with just a bit of crisp pak choy just by way of garnish, and hoisin sauce. Again, probably one of the most accessible sauces that you can get from an Asian perspective that really sits well with the palate for a young child's palate. And a touch of oil just to fry off our peppers. So really, really simple. First job then, we're going to get our chicken dippers into the oven after we've started to steep our noodles, which again, medium thread egg noodle. If you wanted to and be completely vegan, you could use a rice noodle that will be compliant for that vegan diet, but we're going to use this as a vegetarian option. So we're going to put our egg noodles into hot boiling water. And as soon as they're in, we're going to put the lid back on, turn them off and pull them to the side. So they will just sit now quite nicely while we get cracking and get our chickenless dippers in. Again, we're going to use our fry basket that allows us to get a lot of condensation off the product as it's coming from frozen to cooked. So we get a nice crisp texture, not only on the top, but on the bottom. Again, if you don't have these, then there's not really a big problem. You can use a flat tray with a bit of parchment, a nice hot preheated oven will still give you a good, excellent product from the Bird's Eye Green Cuisine chickenless dipper. Spread them out nice and evenly, and they'll go in the oven for about 8 minutes, which is enough time for us to sweat our peppers, warm our peas, and then strain off our noodles and make this dish. Again, we want to make a fair amount for you so that it's relative. I don't see any point in making one dish, one portion. So we're showing you in real time how simple it is to create a fair volume. Okay. So I say nice preheated oven, 185, 195 degrees. The key is to cook hot and quick with these crispy items. Keeps the moisture in, gets a great texture on the outside. Okay, so another pan. We're going to warm that pan up now, put it on, and just use a small amount of the olive oil just to warm the pan through, and then take our other ingredients, which are, as you can see, 1 yellow, 1 red, and 1 orange pepper, finely shredded with all the seeds taken out and shredded up. This could come pre-sliced from a veg supplier that you have nominated in your region. And a pea, again, I've had these and they're defrosted, so they won't take as much time to warm through, but you could technically, from a hot noodle, put a frozen pea straight in. So back to our pan. Get a bit of heat through that pan. And all we really want to do is just let some of that sweetness come out of the pepper and just soften it off. We don't really want too much colour going on there. As I say, this is quite a fun, interactive dish. Noodles becoming more and more widespread. Kids are eating these and enjoying them all over the country. So in with our peppers. Again, you can hear that sizzle. We don't want that to be too coloured, but we certainly want to get some heat through them and wash them through with flavour. We're not going to put any salt in this, no pepper. We're just going to get those great flavours from the chickenless dipper, the sweetness from the pepper, and the great colour from the peas. And then we'll show you now just how easy it is with these noodles just to soften them off. And that's really all they need. In the period of time it takes to cook our chickenless dippers, these will be softened off, nice and loose and separated. We'll just drain the water off and we'll just toss them with the hoisin sauce and the peas. I shall try this time not to get any on my chef's jacket. As you can see, I was cursed by the spicy bean sauce earlier on. So we are cooking in real time here for you. And then we go with our peas. I say just a few minutes to let that warm through. We can turn it down a bit now. We'll get a little bit of moisture and sweet juice coming out of those sweet bird's eye peas. You can see fantastic colour. Really, really good colour here. That's going to be a great eye appeal for those kids when they serve their noodle dish. Oodles of noodles, we've called it. My kids particularly love noodles, they're a favourite. So what we'll do now is, in terms of our chickenless dippers in cook time, we're probably 3 minutes away. So I'll just take the time just to drain this off. Under normal service circumstances, you will probably take this pan over to the sink and drain it. You may even have these pre-done and you may elect to steam them to warm them through, which just takes a stage away. But from my perspective, I just wanted to show you them cooked warm and quick. So there we go. Our noodles are soft, draining off. I'll move this water out of the way. We can see all the heat coming off those peppers and peas. It's time to add our noodles. I'm going to just retain the noodles in this pan and drop the peas and the peppers in from the other pan. And then we'll add our soy sauce. There we go. And then just a case of stirring that through. And we see we've got great colour, such a vibrant colour there. And that's going to sort of sit and complement exceptionally well the chickenless dippers that are going to be out of the oven very quickly. Our final stage for this is just to drizzle hoisin sauce into the product. We'll save a little bit for the top. We'll bring that round. Mix it all in. And I think nothing more satisfying than just a really, really nice, tasty plate of noodles and just topping them with that extra value and that extra delight of those chickenless dippers. Right, so lid on, we'll keep the heat in. And we'll get our tray. Going to use something slightly smaller. I've not cooked a huge amount of noodles. I did half a packet approximately, 3 cakes of noodle. So we're just going to use a 2/3 gastronome, but just to show you the amount of volume. So the alarm's gone. We've got our very quick cook time on our chickenless dippers. Let's get them out and we'll get this served up. So as you can see, nothing sticking. We're using the nice tray basket here, but what you've got is a nice even colour. They're all beautiful on both sides, top and bottom. We're getting no wastage, nothing sticking to the tray. And what you'll hear is that element of crisp coating, which is fantastic. The crisp coating on these chickenless dippers is very, very special. And if I get a close up, we can look at just how flavoursome and the level of moisture in these wheat protein chickenless dippers from Green Cuisine really are. Okay, so let's get serving. So we'll take our noodles, which we've kept warm, took no cooking whatsoever. And then we'll put them onto the tray. Spread those out like so. But you can see we've got great flavour. Smells gorgeous, I have to say. And then depending on how many we've got, we can do them in little batches, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then everyone gets their portion, or even 4 potentially. Like so. So you're able to then go straight from the counter, drop off the chickenless dipper onto the side of the plate. And there we have a really simple yet on-trend offer of chickenless dippers with hoisin noodles. And I suppose for a little chef's poetic or theatrical license, you might not do this in the school, but you could certainly add a little bit of pak choy just as a garnish. So yeah, so we'll do a portion. Now this portion is for 8 to 12-year-old children. So it's not a huge plateful, but just enough so we can get our noodles, as I see, easy to serve, get our greens, our peppers and our sweet peas from Bird's Eye, like so. Again, the one thing that I think this has is a sense of real modern food. Really, really interesting food for kids today. This is something that's going to really make a lot of fun at mealtime in your refectory or dining hall. Let's see what you can do with your noodles, with your chicken dippers. Please interact on our social media page, follow us on Instagram, show us your pictures, show us what you can do. We look forward to it. Thank you very much. Okay, so our final dish is a classic in every sense of the word. It's using our Green Cuisine meatless burger, packed full of great pea protein. It's a lovely thick burger. It's got a great level of moisture and great flavour. And we're going to do this as a classic icon burger with a nice relish, a lovely burger sauce and a brioche bun. But this is aimed at the children from 12 plus years, so into secondary school. So we can afford to be a little bit more indulgent, although we've got a lot of fresh ingredients in there from salad, onion, lettuce and tomato. And we're going to do some skin on fries to get that extra flavour and fibre into their diet. And we'll also be baking those in the oven. So we are doing without the need for a fryer and oil into the diet as well. So what have we got? Well, as we said, we've got our fantastic Green Cuisine Powered by Plants meat-free burgers. Lovely colour. They've almost got a bar marking already. So they've got that suggestion of charred bar marking grilling. I'm going to do 2. I might actually cook a second and pack it just to show you and cut them. So I'll build 2 burgers, but we will cook 4. And then just for ease on this fry basket, I'm just going to put our portions of frozen fries straight out the freezer onto the basket as well. And this is an approximate 12 to 15 minute cook in a hot commercial oven. I'm using a combination oven. It's a Combitherm oven, in fact. But so straight in the oven, on with the timer, and in we go. So in this burger, we said we wanted to create a nice experience, a classic burger. We're going to use a brioche bun. Brioche buns used to be a bit of a rare commodity and used in very sort of high-end treat style burgers, but these buns now become readily available quite at a fair price point, and just add that extra dimension of flavour to the offer. So we will be using the brioche bun for this icon burger build. And what we'll do nearer to service is we'll just toast the buns. Reason for that is it just crisps them up, seals the slice, the open slice, and when we come to sauce it, it just allows that burger not to go soggy, and just puts a little bit of warmth and just sort of adds a bit of softness back into the inside of the dough itself. And then very, very simply, just a fresh crisp leaf, gem leaf here, but you could use a shredded pre-prepared iceberg lettuce. And for colour, we're going to just do a fine slice of red onion and a few slices of fresh tomato. The key with any burger really in the build is about the things that you add to it. We've got that great centerpiece from the plant-based meatless burger from Green Cuisine, but to complement that, on the bottom of the bun, once we toasted it, we'll add a bit of an old favourite, but not used so much anymore, but I think really nice is a corn relish, so a sweet corn relish. And then we're going to use a burger sauce. Again, these can be found with reduced levels of sugar and salt. And this burger sauce can be made in-house with a very low-fat mayonnaise, but we're going to put it on quite sparingly. But as I say, it just helps in that build. Right, so as I said, we're going to just give these buns that we've split, these brioche buns, just on the cut inside, just going to give them a slight warm toast. So if you've got a griddle or a grill pan, you can do this. I'm just going to just drop them down onto this pan, warm them through. Great timing. The oven's alarming. So let's pull out those Green Cuisine burgers, the meatless burgers and the fries, and we'll build these buns. So as we can see, got a nice crispness on those fries, but great moisture, great colour on these patties. I'll just take the opportunity to cut one in half and show you straight away how they look. So there we go. Look at that moisture, phenomenal level of moisture. Really tasty. It's going to sit well in our built bun. So I'll just put this to one side and let's take a look at how our buns are toasting in our pan. That's all we need to do, is just warm the edges. We've got a nice little element of toast there, and we'll build as away we go. So as we said, on the bottom we'll go with our corn relish, and then our lettuce, And very quickly, a couple of slices of tomato, like so, on there, and we'll lift our meatless burger patties, and then we'll just top that with a little bit of red onion, just to give a great salad flavour. On the top. And then we'll take our burger sauce here and just put a little piece of that, a small amount, just move it around on the top of the bun. As you can see. Oh, excuse me. And I'll cut one and we'll plate one. So for the one we're going to plate, just make life a little easier. We'll cut it in half and open it to show you the build. We have a very, very simple icon burger, a classic burger using the Green Cuisine meatless burger patty. So we'll plate that up and serve it. Brilliant. So there we go. Fries through the oven, our Green Cuisine meatless burger patty through the oven with a nice build with a corn relish, fresh salad, a burger sauce, tomatoes, lettuce and onion, which gives us a great eat. Thank you very much. Please do send pictures, as we said in the previous segment. We'd love to see your noodles and we'd love to see your burger builds using this Green Cuisine product. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Right, Gerard. Well, that all looked absolutely wonderful, didn't it?
I'm hungry now.
Yeah. Which is your personal favourite from the range?
Difficult question. That all of them are actually. You know, I mean, they are very good products. If I was to think in my house, the veggie fingers are always a popular choice. But I think I said it earlier on. Gave the game away a little bit, but the chickenless dippers are a classic. And I think, you know, and I for the viewers out there watching, I really suggest they do the chicken dipper challenge and put down a real chicken dipper versus the plant one and see if their children can taste the difference, because mine couldn't.
That sounds like an interesting idea, the chicken dipper challenge. I just noticed one thing on the video that perhaps people watching might have picked up on too, and there was a disclaimer came up about wheat protein, and there was a date in September. Can you just tell us what that's about?
Yeah, just again, we're just evolving our product. So we're currently a pea protein. I know there's some questions that were answered on that. My colleagues answered that. Yeah. But we're moving to a wheat protein on some of our chickenless products. It's just again, just using another plant-based product. Always evolving these products and making sure that they taste great and they look great. So that's really it. And there was a question regarding allergens as well, which I would ask anybody who had any questions on allergens. You can see them on pack, but also they can email us directly for the nutritionals through the Birds Eye website. Okay,
and just generally, when it comes to meat replacement products like these, do you believe they can offer any sort of saving for caterers as against, you know, buying the actual meat?
That's a good question. Again, it's a relatively new sector, and as you know, as the sector grows, then obviously commodity costs come down as well. Birds Eye, what we try and do is we offer quality and cost, and a cost-effective product. So we give the caterers the products that deliver on quality and also cost, and they can certainly put those on the menu, and they deliver, as I said, on the taste. So we believe that's our sort of USP.
Okay, and just looking ahead now, what sort of things are on the horizon in terms of sort of new products, and I'm thinking particularly about people working within the public sector.
Absolutely. Well, the food service industry really kick-started the plant-based, foods and recipes, etc. So it's a dynamic marketplace. It's growing really quickly. We have a dedicated innovation team who are looking at the new, what's new coming to the marketplace. What we can offer the cost sector market and the public catering market is burgers for a meat-free Monday, or the meatballs. They always go down very well with the children. And then fishless Friday, as I mentioned earlier on, we've now developed a fishless fish finger made of rice protein. And believe it or not, it's fantastic delivery. It looks like a real fish finger. And again, I'd like to try it with your children at home and see if they can tell the difference. Fantastic product, which launches in September this year within the food service sector.
Okay.
So always developing, and any new news and any new products, we'll put them on our Birdseye website.
All right, Gerard, that's great. That's given us a good overview and some very, very nice looking dishes there. And just to remind people, the recipes that we saw and possibly others as well, you have those available?
Absolutely, yeah. If you go onto the Birdseye Food Service website, you can see them all on there. We'd also like to see your recipes as well, because we'd like to publish those on our social media pages. So if any of the followers today, anybody viewing, would like to share those recipes, we're all always looking for new recipes, and we'll showcase them on our social media pages. And so yeah, send them over, please.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Gerard. That is all we have time for today. I'd like to thank you and Andy and our platinum sponsor today, Green Cuisine, and everyone who was able to join us today for this cooking demo. We'll be uploading a recording of the whole session to the Plant-Based Week page on our website later today. A note to remind you that tomorrow we'll be picking the winners of our signed copies of Dr. Rupi's new book, Doctor's Kitchen 321, and letting the winners know. And don't forget, our Plant-Based Week program isn't over yet, continues tomorrow with another cooking demo. And if you've missed anything so far, it has all been recorded and is available on the Plant-Based Week page on our Public Sector Catering website. On the slides that follow, you'll see the web address where you can find out everything about Plant-Based Week, including the chance to catch up with any cooking demos and Wednesday's keynote webinar if you've missed anything. You can also see the dates for next year's Plant-Based Week, which will run from May 9th to the 13th, 2022. Goodbye.